Hello there. I hope this is recording. I'm going to start with a vocabulary lesson. Um, Sycophant. Sycophant. An ubiquitous flatterer. Someone who flatters often in hopes of regaining something. Popularity. A sycophant. Um, Obsequious. Servile or fawning. Servile, in a submissive slavery servant. Fawning, to display slavish affection, to seek favor by servile groveling. Catechism, a short book summarizing the basic tenets of a religion in the form of questions and answers. Abdicate, to relinquish power or responsibility formally. Cacophony, harsh, discordant sound. Dissidence. Austere. Stern, as in manner. Severe, marked by obstiniousness. Ascetic, without an ornamentation. Simple, consuming food or drink in moderation. Temperate. Ingratiate, to gain favor deliberately. Opprobrium, disgrace or humiliation resulting from shameful conduct. Scornful contempt or reproach, a cause for contempt. Epoch or epochal, a historical period, an era, an event marking the beginning of a new era. Sophistry, plausible but fallacious argumentation or reasoning. Fallacious, containing or based on fundamental errors in reasoning, misleading or deceptive. Lionize, to treat a person as a celebrity. Monastic, monks in monasteries that are still living. Melange, a mixture. Acerbic, having a bitter or sour taste. Sharp or bitter in temper, mood, or expression. Acerbic. Melodorous, having a foul odor, smelly. Palazzo, progeny, offspring, or descendants. Codifies, to arrange systematically. Chari, cautious or wary, not wasteful as of time, money, or resources, sparing. Emotive, to express emotion theatrically. Unnerving, unerring, constantly accurate. Vilifial, to defame. Degenerate, to defame. Slander, augmented, to make or become better. Spectral, pertaining to a spectrum. Jeremiad, a prolonged complaint or a tale of a woe. Jeremiad. Interloper, to violate the rights of others. Penitent, feeling a sense of sorrows and for sins or misdeeds, remorse, repentant. Broach, a tapered tool used for shaping or enlarging. A hoe, a tool for tapping a cask, a barrel, a quantity that said barrel will hold. Opulence, having great wealth, extravagant. Visceral, viscer or visceral, the internal organs relating directly to the abdomen within the thorax. Profound or intense. Sinewy, a tendon, muscular strength, a power. Terse, brief and concise. Sinuous, having many bends or having many curves. Jihad, a Muslim, holy war against infidels. Abysmally, immeasurably deep or extremely profound. Abysmally. Constituency, the body of voters represented by an elected legislator, the district so represented. Tenets, a basic principle, doctrine, or dogma. Pernicious, very harmful or destructive. Embolden, to impart courage and encourage. Factions, a smaller group of individuals that make up a minority as a lesser part of a whole. Conflict within one group, organization, or state. Discord. Cognizance, conscious recognition, awareness, heed, notice. Inviolate, not violated, intact. Pathology, the scientific and medical study of disease, the functional or anatomic manifestations of disease. Impinge, to make impact, strike, collide, to encroach. Buffeted, to strike repeatedly, batter. Antipathy, a feeling of opposition. Antipathy, whatever. A feeling of opposition, an object of aversion, repugnance. Peroration, the usually formal concluding part of a speech. Salutary, affecting improvement, remedial, promoting growth or advancement, health, wholesome. Qualitatively, pertaining to quality. Plaudits, an act or expression of approval or praise. Paucity, smallness of number or quantity. Dearth, scarcity, lack. Paucity? Paucity. Parse, to identify the form of or function of a word or group of words. Identify the part of speech. Influx, a stream of people of things coming in. Infer, to confirm by reasoning, deduce, to come to a conclusion, lead to a result. Evanescence, to disappear like vapor, fade away. Haze, to harass with silly disagreeable tasks, demeaning. To drive saddled horses, to haze. Tete-tetes, a private conversation between two people. Stradivarius, a type of violin string instrument, 1967, made by Alamed. Reedy, a tall grass deriving the wind instrument. Resuscitation, to return to consciousness or to revive. Gaunt, thin and bony, haggard, desolate, bleak. Eugenics, the study and methods of improving a species genetically. Litany, a prayer in which phrases recited by a leader alternate with answers from a congregation. Surrogate, a substitute, a judge in some U.S. states with jurisdiction over the probate of wills and settlements. Latent, present but not evident or active. Arbitrator, one who has the authority to decide. Frieze, a decorative, often sculptured, horizontal band along the upper part of a building or wall in a room. Caucus, a meeting of the members of a political party to make policy decisions and select candidates. Jaundiced, yellowish staining of the eyes, skin and body fluids by bile or pigment, showing prejudice or malice. Admonitory, to reprove, mildly but seriously to warn against something, caution. Incredulity, skeptical, disbelieving, expressive of disbelief. Pensier, a grasping instrument with two jaws and two handles pivoted together to work in opposition. A jointed, prehensible claw of certain anthropods as a crab or a lobster. Triads, a long, angry, or violent speech, usually of a censorious or denunciatory nature. Inundated, to cover with water. Overflow, to overwhelm with, or as if with a flood. Swamp. Concession, the act of conceding something conceded, something as tract of land or granted especially by government to be used for a particular purpose, the privilege of running a subsidiary business on certain premises, a concession. Commiseration, to feel or display sympathy, transitory, lasting only a short time. Pallid, lacking in color, wane, lacking in intensity or dull. Succinctly, marked by brevity or concise. Hewing, to make or give shape to, with as if with an axe, that to fell with an axe, to adhere strictly as to a rule, dictum, a dogmatic or authoritative statement, a popular saying or a maxim, ratchets, a device consisting of a pawl that permits a wheel or a bar to move in only one direction, but engaging its sloping teeth unabated, not diminishing its force or its sensitivity. Exponentially, one who represents, advocates, or speaks for a cause of a group a numerical value that clarifies how often the integer is used. Crucible, a vessel for melting metals at high temperatures. Preternaturally, going beyond the ordinary cause of nature, having no nature, explanation, or cause. Chastened, to punish in order to correct, to cause to become restrained and subdued. Indelible, not able to be erased or washed away. Permanent, making marks that are hard to fade and wash away. Lucidity, readily understood, mentally clear and rational. Inscrutably, difficult to understand or interpret. Enigmatic, amorphous, lacking definite form, shapeless, generally vague without distinct crystalline structures. Extrapolated, to respond in a way to correct someone. Redolent, having a scent that is reminiscent and aromatic. Predilections, a natural or habitual preference. Goliad, for a very cold or frigid. Acumen, accuracy and quickness of judgment. Peried, to turn aside, deflect, to avoid, skillfully to evade. Adroitly, dexterous, deft, skillful, and adept in difficult circumstances. Accrued, to come to someone or something as a gain, to increase. A regular growth, as in a capital. Antithetical or antithesis or antithetical. Direct contrast, polar opposites, opposition. Flippancy, marked by disrespect, impudence, or indifference. Quadry, a perplexing situation or state. Propitiate, to win back the favor of or placate. Rest, to get by as if by pulling with violent wrenching motions, to gain as if by force, a violent wrenching moment. Bromides, a binary compound of bromide, potassium, bromide, a title remark, platitude, a bore. Oscillate, to swing back and forth with a regular motion, to waver between two or more choices. Cable, a group of conspirators, a secret plot. Libidinousness, or libido, psychic energy that is associated with instinctual biological drives, sexual desire. Apotheosis, alleviation to divine stature, defecation, an ideal example. Bilious, of, relating to, or containing bile, relating to, characterized by, or undergoing gastric distress caused by sluggishness of the gallbladder or liver. Irascible, easily angered or hot-tempered. Eunuch, a castrated man. Rotunda, a circular building or wall, especially with a dome. Demagogue, a leader that comes to power by appealing to the emotions of the people. Fastidiousness, meticulously attentive to details difficult to please. Exacting. Bellwethers, a leader. Lemmings, a rodent of the genus Lemmus and related genre of northern regions, as L. limos, noted for its nestling migrations out in the sea. Castigating, to punish or criticize severely. Nettled, a plant of the genus or Eurydica, having toothed leaves covered with hairs that secrete a stinging fluid. Buttressing, a supporting structure built against a wall, a support. Pratfall, a fall in which one lands on the buttocks. impugn, to cast as fault, cast out on. Dereliction, dereliction, without neglect, as in responsibility